Carriers, brokers, and dispatchers. You're tuned into the E-Carrier Check channel, where we bring you the insider tips, tricks, and insights to drive your sales and logistics business to new heights. Each week, your hosts, Jared and Nate, sit down with the top professionals in the industry, diving deep into everything from prospecting and cold calling to maintaining carrier relationships and maximizing your bottom line. Learn real-world strategies, hear success stories, and get actionable advice you can implement in your business today. So buckle up and get ready for an entertaining and informative ride. This is the E-Carrier Check channel, your source for can't-miss logistics intelligence. Stay tuned.
Yo, what's going on? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another show with Jared and Nate at E-Carrier Check. Today we're gonna do some cold calls. So I'm excited to see what goes on today. It's a beautiful day in Nebraska. I hope the calls go beautifully as well.
Me too, man. I'm excited. I was just looking. Chief Freight Hauler says he's in Charleston. I was looking at what the weather is today down there.
How's the weather,
dude? It's
Chief?
76. It's 76. It's 62 right now.
62.
God,
yeah.
I freaking love that.
You're in your shorts right now, or what? Stop four at 15. Holy
Good God, what are you hauling?
Yeah.
That's a wild multi-stop. I hope it's all hazmat and you're getting paid a fortune, like just unicorn stuff. That's what I'm looking for.
I feel like Chief Freight Hauler should just be live all day delivering these loads.
I think so too.
Stay in the life of Chief Freight
Just
Hauler.
start a TikTok and go live and just put it up on your friggin' thing.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little revenue too.
Or just come on our show and go live. We don't care.
Before we jump into the calls in our week here, I do want to remind you guys that the Broker Carrier Summit is coming up here.
Excited about it.
Yeah, super nice conference. We haven't been there. Well, I haven't been there. I don't know if you have back in the day, but it starts on the 28th of April, goes to the 2nd of May. You got about 17 days to get signed up. Shout out to Shimmy. Shimmy is one of our partners over here. She actually has a promo code for everyone. You'll get a little bit of a discount. I believe it's about 10%. But use hot loads at checkout and go get yourself a little discount and head over to Broker Carrier Summits. It's a one-of-a-kind conference. It's, a lot of conferences that you probably attend, you're going to like sessions and listening to people talk, where here it's more of a hands-on. You converse a little bit more. You're talking to people, things like that. So
yeah, I like the concept or the goal that they have behind this whole thing. Is how do we bring, quality carriers to quality brokers, and truly talk through some of those things that brokers just make too much or carriers want too much, or whatever it may be. They can truly get together, and I think that's what I love about this. Just starting relationships with good people.
Same. Heck yeah, man.
Speaking of good people,
a little clue for us was 90 last week. Okay,
Chris
60 is nice where I'm from. Chris White, what's up, bro?
Dude, this guy's my favorite.
Switch Haulers Inc.
I can't get enough of this dude. This guy's over the top.
I love Chris.
He's my favorite. You guys haven't followed him. He's incredible. We should have him back on the show.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's more value in that man's mind than I've met in most.
And for Star Logistics, man, what a great company too.
Yeah.
Really killer agent format too. Kristen Anderson, good morning. How
What's
are
up?
you? We haven't chatted in a while. I hope
Kristen.
everything's going good.
Yeah.
How's everything going? Tell me.
Hopefully she's got her first load.
Yeah.
Morning,
nursery
fellas.
load. Okay.
Nursery load. That makes sense. I mean, it's a good time for nursery loads.
Yeah.
I love that.
Perfect.
But what did Gabrielle say? Gabrielle.
1 week into the game at a W-2 brokerage in a 6-week training window, but excited to hit the phone. Heck yeah, Gabriel. We should connect next week, bro.
Absolutely.
Hit me up, link with me. I know you're on LinkedIn. Link up with me and let's head up next week and let's talk through some of your cold calling strats.
Yeah, and honestly, we've this week we had, and then we'll get into the calls here in a sec. I know that's why everyone watches, but we had a gal come on. I gotta tell a little shout out to this gal, Phoenix Brokerage, incredible company, just very driven young ladies. and willing to take feedback and just get better. And we started working with them, 3-4 months ago. At night and day, when you start to listen and hear your own cold calls. Recording cold calls is the number one way of getting better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think in the time we've met with them, she sent well over 10 cold calls, and you could just tell, like you said, night and day difference from first to yesterday. So yeah, super nice. Send us your cold calls too, Gabriel, if you'd like. We're up to listen to them, give you some feedback, of course. So yeah, where are you gonna head with that?
Yeah, just a couple things real quick. Obviously, we partner with a local brokerage here. I'm going to be making calls for them called Nebraska Transporter, NTC. Incredible company, been around forever. And they're also our guinea pig. So every time we create a new piece of software, they try it first. And they're incredible. They're incredible people. But I thought this was interesting. Just to get into cold calls, I wanted to throw out sort of where my value is going to be at today.
Okay.
You know, instead of just saying I want to chat or do you got any freight? I want to see how they're handling capacity. And I want to read this article to you, okay? Flatbed rejection rates are spiking. Flatbed tender rejection rates have surged twice in this past month. Early March, just before North America tariffs, and now additional tariffs set for April 2nd, which obviously got pushed again, which will continue to do that. But the current rejection rate, 41%. The two biggest areas, Dallas and Portland, are seeing the highest rejection rates. Shippers are rushing to move loads before new tariffs kick in. Seasonal construction demand and spot market volatility. Flatbed freight relies more on spot moves than contract, making rates jump. So I asked the guys in the brokerage, hey, who's doing freight in Texas? Who's doing open deck? And so I had a really good chat with one of their brokers that focuses primarily in open deck, some stretch work, some RGN work, some standard flats. He's moving precast concrete in Dallas pretty much daily.
Okay.
So we're gonna make some calls. I got on eCarrier Check and found all these leads. That's convenient. What do you say? Flatbed rates sent stupid last week in the Southeast. Yeah, like it's a real thing, right? Like if you're in the Southeast, just buckle up and drive. Just go. You know what I mean? It's a real thing, and I think we're going to continue to see those. I even think it even kind of got into even that like Arkansas area where there is no drivers and no capacity. Nobody really likes to go into Arkansas right now, but boy, if you want to get in there, you can get some freight out of there. I think yesterday I heard a guy moved a load out of Arkansas for $6 a mile going into Kansas. So definitely one of those things. Rates cooled off a little this week. Yeah, exactly. Saeed, what's up? Let's go, brother. It's good to see you guys. If you guys want to make calls along with me, let's get the pencil and paper out and let's get to work. You know what I mean?
Let us know if you can hear the person on the other phone.
I got the phone right here.
We got new mics. I'm hoping that they pick it up. But if you can't hear it, let me know. Maybe we'll figure something out. But we're gonna at least hear what Jared has to say in his calls and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Saeed. Thanks for watching, brother.
Yeah, we
shout out
appreciate
to
it.
our members as well. Chief Freight Hauler. I got Sean Price. Christian Anderson. Thank you guys for your support and. This allows us to do what we do.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that.
Absolutely
Support.
And honestly, I'm not the end all be all with cold calling. Right. I've just gotten good at asking questions and stating some obvious things. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm always looking to learn as well and try to figure out, what can I do differently?
Yeah. And if you're new here, we've had some bad cold calling sessions.
Terrible.
There's been days that it's been unreal and people thought they were staged. So
yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
It's the way it goes.
So let's see where it goes.
All right, here we go. First one we're calling. Again, we probably won't say. You'll hear Nate mute this every now and then. Today I'm going to dive into eCarrier Check. I love that. Let's just go.
Yeah.
I really want to give you here's a random, actually real quick. For those of you who are on eCarrier Check, we have, and I actually didn't realize this, and I was the one that helped create it. So what do you do? But we have this incredible filter by employee count. And so what I did for today's searches is I looked in Texas, I looked in South, I kind of spread out the bar. And I looked for the smaller companies. And now some of these companies are huge still, but some of those smaller companies, Those are leads I've never even heard of.
Really?
They're wonderful. So I'm super excited about it.
What's up, Bella? How are you?
How's the health? You know what I love? I love her workout stuff. I loved the weird doll thing that she posted. That's like the hot trend right now.
That is the hot trend. I like
Vince
it.
is out of control.
I love it though. Yeah, Bella, keep grinding. Gabriel, I had a shower yesterday where the sales rep was having the same issues with Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas is real, man. Like it's a mess right now. Learning from you, Sean Price. What is up?
What's up, Sean?
Dude,
you think the brokers might be back off the 90-day requirement with new authority?
You think what did he say? You think the brokers might back off now of the 90-day requirement with new authority? I don't know. That honestly, this is an interesting question. I don't know what he does, but if you got a flatbed or if you got a truck and they're needing somebody that's actually reliable, not like double broker stuff, but like, hey, I got a truck, I got a trailer, it's clean. Could they? The big boxes probably not, but some of those smaller guys, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sean Price, man, I gotta give a real quick shout out, Sean, and then I'll get into calling here. Is our #1 video last month was you
with Sean,
with Sean Price. We're super jacked.
We're gonna get you back on, Sean. We're actually moving buildings, so this will probably be our last.
This will be our last live.
So you guys are gonna see a different setup again because we're famous with doing that. We have just many setups. So we'll get you back on.
Bella's good.
Been busy
prepare for the pod. I was in Florida for 9 days a couple weeks ago. Took a nice break while working. Yeah, have to take a break.
Nice, Bella.
Bella, it's good to see you. God, I always like when they're on.
Yeah,
all right, let's get to work. First one is a company that's moving PVC. Let's see what happens.
I hope the beach was nice.
And they have a bunch of Texas locations. So I'm going to go down that road of capacity and things like that. Right. So here we go. And by the way, on a side note, I don't know any shipping managers' names. I've always been a believer that let's just kind of jump in the water and see what happens. If I'm looking for a big fish, then I get more sophisticated and play a different game. Today, I'm just calling, I'm asking for shipping and keeping this as wildly simple as possible, just for the sake of what I'm doing. Okay. So just a quick disclaimer.
Thank you for calling Tejas Tubular Products.
See if you guys can hear that.
Huh? You guys hear the phone?
Let me know if you can hear.
Please choose from the following options. For sales, press 1. For accounts payable, press 2. For accounts receivable, press 3. For HR, press 4. For shipping and receiving, press 5. For supply chain, press 6.
Ooh.
Or to hear these options again.
I kind of like logistics, but we may go supply chain. Supply chain is just another word for purchasing. But let's see what happens.
For tubing, press 2. Or for casing, please press 3.
Shit. All right, let's go 2. I should have went 3. My wife's birthday's on the 3rd. Damn it.
End the call.
End the call right now. Yeah, they can hear us. Cool. Good to.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, guys.
Cool.
Tejas Tubular Shipping and Receiving is not available to take your call. Please leave a message.
Boy, the tone was hot on that one. Hang on, we're gonna call back and push 3. We might even try. Let's try 5 and then let's do 3.
For tubing, press 2. Or for casing, please press 3.
Transferring to
Tejas Shipping.
Hey, Pedro, this is Jared. Did I get that right? Is it Pedro?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Pedro, this is Jared. How's it going today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
You know, it's Friday, and I am excited for the weekend. I'm going to just put the Masters on and do my thing. What about you?
I'm a bit confused with what's going on.
That's fair. I'll get to the point. Hey, man, we do some flatbed work in the Dallas area, specifically Dallas to Houston, and then kind of run between Arkansas, Louisiana, but a lot of open deck freight. And myself specifically is a nights and weekends guy. And so I was just wanting to touch base with you on how you guys are finding your carriers, or are you seeing any capacity issues that maybe kind of driving some of your rates up, or how's it going in the shipping world?
I mean, all of our stuff is like customer based
So the customers drive primarily the decisions on how to ship your freight?
No, I'm in like if I'm not mistaken, customers, they order their own stuff so that they can go pick it up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they're doing like will call freight and the customers are handling that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I get it. I know that became kind of an interesting trend, early 2000s, just to control your own freight. Is there anything on your guys' end that you guys do look for your own trucks?
I don't think I personally know anything about that. But yeah.
That's fair. Who does handle that a little bit, Pedro? Like if I wanted to see if I could get set up with you, who would be the point of contact to kind of make some of those decisions?
I'm gonna be fully honest with you. I have no idea.
That's fair. I get it, man. How many trucks a day are you loading?
Depends.
What's a typical day?
I would say like 10.
No kidding. Okay, 10's a good number. Is there any stretch work or like stretch flatbeds, or are you seeing just regular flatbeds, or is it smaller stuff like hotshot guys, 40-foot gooseneck guys?
All over.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. What time do you guys ship for?
I'm sorry, all these questions are hurting my head.
They're hurting your head. I get it. Did you have a crazy Thursday night, brother, or no?
No, there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
I get it. I get it. Well, hey Pedro, is there a good time I could reach back out or try to find somebody that would make sense to talk to?
You can probably try to go back maybe like early next week.
Early next week? Okay. And who do you think I should talk to?
Again, I have no answer to that one. So.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Pedro, real quick, last question, and then I'll let you go and let you enjoy your day because I know you're busy. Do you have nights and weekends freight by chance where you're just having to run something over the weekend or at night?
Most of our stuff are during the day.
Okay.
When it goes to weekends, it's mainly just like I don't know the proper wording for that.
You're good, brother. You're good. Hey, Pedro, you've been a lot of help. And I hope you get a Red Bull in you. I know you got a lot going on. Go get some coffee, a Red Bull or something. And it's super nice to chat with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, brother. You have a good day.
Okay.
All right, see you. He seemed like a nice guy.
Oh, that poor guy.
I
wonder if he's new or something, or
probably.
he just maybe he had a long night last night watching the Masters and got a little tan.
Yeah. Here's the nice thing. I know it was very clouded call.
Yeah.
But whomever I do end up talking to, now there's a possibility that it's all customer routed and he has no idea what the hell's going on. Like I just talked to the janitor.
Or he's being told to say this stuff. Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. I don't know. Maybe he's like, hey, you got a truck, call this guy. I got a lot of information from him. You know what I mean? It's loading 10 trucks.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. They don't really do nights and weekends. I'll take that. You know what I mean? I wonder if I call back and talk to supply, what that conversation looks like. Maybe we try that real quick.
Okay.
To see if I get just somebody else. Watch it's Pedro again.
What department was Pedro in?
So he was in shipping and then number 3, right?
Okay.
This time I'm going to call back. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to do number 5 and see what the next options are after that.
I kind of felt like he thought he might have been being punked.
I think he thought
I'm so confused.
I was kind of hammering the questions, and then he didn't get the golf reference. I probably should have.
That's fair.
I shouldn't have probably light talked it, but what do you do?
Yeah. Do you want to try that one again and try and go?
Yeah, let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. I really enjoyed that. This guy.
We're calling Chaos Tubular Plus.
Gabriel,
DIY
he needs his
on
coffee, bro. I know DIY is in here.
Let's direct you. Please choose from
What's up, bro?
Shout out, dude.
For sales, press 1.
All right, so let's go 6 for supply
For
chain.
accounts receivable, press 3.
You
For
ready?
HR, press 4. For shipping and receiving, press 5. For supply chain, press 6.
Love it.
Watch Pedro pick it up again.
Dude, if it's Pedro, I don't know what to do. We'll see. Let's just joke about it for this. Yeah, it was cool of him to give me that. I agree. Like, I loved it.
The mailbox of the person you are calling
Let's
is
see if it gives
currently
a number.
full and cannot
Oh, it's
accept
full,
new
so they
messages.
don't care.
Please try your call again later. Thank you.
That just hung up. So okay, so he said let's call back beginning of next week.
Yep.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll catch him and I'll be like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? So
Right. Hey, good morning to you, Landy. Yeah, at least you got a little bit of information for next week's call.
Yeah, exactly.
The other broker would have that anyways.
The other side of this too is I could just call back and ask for HR
Mhm.
and be like, I think I just dialed the wrong number. Just kind of play it, the humble card. Just say, hey, who handles, shipping?
Yeah.
Who makes the decisions instead of who handles?
Right.
Who makes the decisions for shipping? And then I could have probably gotten a little bit further.
And then I feel like we might get Pedro again. I would love to talk to him again. Honestly.
Watch we get Pedro again.
All right, let's move on.
All right, let's keep cooking here.
We'll circle back.
All right, here we go. Okay, so this company also in Texas, all RGN construction equipment, heavy equipment, cranes. They probably haul a little bit of their own stuff. I didn't see that on here. Usually you see it if they're hauling their own stuff on your carrier check, like where we can tell they have their own trucks. That's a little bit of a nice insight that we have.
Yes.
But let's call this company and see what happens.
Yeah, for those that you just got here, Jared's calling shipper leads from eCarrierCheck. If you want to see more of that, go to eCarrierCheck.com.
Also, shout out to the Broker Carrier Summit. You cats are, if you haven't checked it out, one of the best, I think, conferences to bring carriers and brokers together and really try to. It's almost like a counseling session for these cats. You know what I mean? They just get together. Oh, here we go. I forgot I dialed it. My ADD. I'm fired up today.
Thank you for calling Kirby Smith. This is meeting. How may I direct your call?
Shipping or transportation?
Just a minute, please.
Nice.
Thank you for calling Kirby Smith Machinery. The person you're calling has either stepped away from their phone or is on the other line helping the customer. Please leave a message and they'll respond to your call as soon as possible.
All right. We will call that one back. They just went to voicemail. All right, cool. We'll come back to that one. I'm a big fan of this next one. I don't know technically how big they are, but they're also in Texas. They're moving more pipe, electrical pipe, things like that. So conduit.
Okay.
I'm just reading their website. It says that they don't sell PVC or fittings or accessories to Canada, which is kind of an interesting. I don't know why, but that's their own thing.
Okay.
I'm just looking. They're in Texas. We're keep calling the Texas companies here.
Okay.
Hello, thanks for calling Kentucky. Somebody direct your call.
Somebody in logistics, if I could, please.
Okay, 1 second.
Seemed like a nice cat. By the way, let's see what happened. Oh, I got it muted real quick. On eCarrierCheck, I can see how their companies word things. So, like, I wrote down whom I should be asking for, whether it's logistics or shipping or transportation, supply chain. Like, I wrote all those things down on my notes, so I kind of had an idea of what I was like, so I can talk their talk. Because if I tell him transportation, he's gonna be like, "Well, we don't transport people," but they have a logistics department. You know what I mean?
That's a good little nugget there.
But then this other one, they have a transportation department. So,
Hi, this is David. I'm not at my desk right now, but if you'll leave your name, number, and a brief message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
You may start your message now. 0 to return to the attendant.
open capacity in that Texas market. In time, and if not, I'll touch base with you later. Thanks. I just left a simple voicemail. Nothing crazy. I did reference the
I was
capacity.
gonna say that.
I think it's really important that right now, if you're calling, just checking in. Let's change that from, hey, I'm just checking in to, hey, are you seeing any impact on your business to the tariffs?
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, I've seen the capacity is continuing to start to tighten up. Or, this is something you could say every spring.
Right.
Hey, I'm seeing rates go up, specifically in flatbeds.
Right.
Is that what you're seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you hit on that, because that's something we talked with Phoenix Brokerage this week. Was instead of the normal of checking in, circling back, especially when a shipper's in their slow season, those are good times to start asking, hey, how do we get set up right? Or what are some challenges that you normally see during a busy season, right? So you start want to ask questions about their company, and honestly, that's the best time to do it, when they are slow, because you learn more about the company.
Absolutely.
And when it gets busy as heck, you already know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I was challenging that brokerage to kind of take out the word circling back and checking in, take it out of your vocab, and try to figure out to replace it with some value add, whether it's for you or for that shipper.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
let's see. Technology has made it incredibly difficult to get through the decision maker today. It's unreal how things have changed. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you're calling the hospital, it's so hard to get to someone you want to get to.
I actually think, Sean, that what we're doing today, like 100 years from now, these kids are going to be scrolling on YouTube. They're like, oh my gosh, they used to pick up the phone and talk to people, and they watch these videos. And shout out to them. And 2065.
What's up, Jerome?
Jerome Jones, what's up, brother? Number one carrier without an inspection in 4 years. Yeah, love this guy. Shout out to Jerome Jones. He's a good dude.
If you have the company's name, you can always look them up on LinkedIn. If they're a Big 10-1, they're always on there. And you can find out who the CEO is and everything about them. Yeah, 100%.
Normally, yeah.
If they have, some of them don't, but yeah, you're right though. And that's, oh Lord, I like the name and your picture there.
The dog is money.
We actually have, if that shipper does have a LinkedIn and we have that shipper on eCarrier Check, we actually pull those leads on our site. So, and then it's kind of cool too. You can click on their, the profile. We'll shoot you over to LinkedIn. You can go right to the page.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. So, yeah, it's just a pain in the ass, Sean.
Phones. And honestly, phones are just an interesting. It's a way for us to communicate, but it's almost become harder to utilize them, right? You know what I mean? So, definitely just it's one of those things.
Right.
But either way, I still believe that cold calling is really, truly, still one of the better ways of getting yourself in the door. If you live in a large area, I tell you what, you want to go just change your life. Grab a stack of cards and a couple PDFs and friggin' walk and hand things out and just be genuinely curious about what you do. I remember doing this in Denver. It was probably in like 2008, 2009. I had no idea what they did. I didn't have a BlackBerry. I couldn't look them up before I walked in. You know what I mean? And I just walk in. Hey, what do you guys do? And then they're like, well, this is what we do. They'd show you around. This is when people trusted you and they cared.
This is kind of nice because we're a couple hours from Denver. So you kind of put a list together, I'm assuming, or did you just pull up to Denver like, you know what, let's just start walking?
I always had intention with at least the first 5.
Right.
I knew where I was at. And then I liked what I called spider web selling.
Okay.
And I would go just next door and next door. Why drive away when you're already next to another shipper?
Right. So those people that are in a small town like us, they should look at that next big city next to them and kind of figure out, try to spider web and create a route, if you will, and just start visiting these people.
And just print it off, wear something nice, put your pants on. I know we all have our COVID pants on, but wear something and just walk around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And how should we explain this? But don't don't lose, I guess, just motivation if you get kicked out or if someone tells you to F off, I'm sure that's going to happen.
In today's world, for sure. Yeah. In today's world, for sure. Everyone hates you. There's no solicitation signs.
Yeah.
I honestly, my favorite, I have to tell you this, and it kind of comes relevant because yesterday at the Masters, there was a guy that did this. But I walked into this huge warehouse. Well, this would have been just outside of Chicago. Huge warehouse. And the guy was like, hey, didn't you read the sign? And I said, yeah. I know it's no solicitation. I'm actually not here to do that. I'm here to go to the bathroom. And he goes, oh, okay, well, it's over here. So I go wash my hands and go to the bathroom because I've been drinking coffee all friggin' day. And I come back out and I go, hey, is the shipping manager here? He goes, and he just kind of looked at me and he goes, she's over there. And he gave me the opportunity. Now this is 2008. People were different then, than what they are now. But either way, let's keep calling.
Let's go. We got like 17 people.
I know people want to hear some calls. Let's keep them cooking.
Yeah. It's Masters weekend.
Dude, I'm fired up. Let's go. If you guys aren't making calls today, I don't know what you're doing. Let's get it done.
Watching Masters.
Welcome to Soldier.
Here we go.
Please wait while we direct your call.
I appreciate that story.
Thank you for calling Soldier.
Hey, I was hoping I could talk to somebody in logistics.
Logistics, give me 1 moment.
Perfect. I wonder if she's still on. Are you on? Oh, shit. No,
It
she's
seems to
still
be
not on.
getting easier. Well, not getting easier. Today seems easier to get through a gatekeeper.
Yeah. I would agree with you. You can kind of tell if they're an operator versus like somebody that's at the front desk. Is that
That's
like
fair.
versus like somebody at a counter?
Hello?
Hey, this is Jared over at Nebraska Transport. How are you today?
Good.
Hey, who am I talking to?
Roland?
Roland.
I think
Roland, what was your last name? Sorry about that.
Cienfuegos.
Nice. Roland, how's your day going, man?
Going good. Can I ask why you're calling?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a flatbed company out of Nebraska that does quite a bit of work in the Houston area, and just wanting to see how you guys are finding trucks or.
That's the wrong number. Hey, I'm sorry to stop you right there, but you got the wrong number. We're with a whole nother company, and you're calling on a company phone right now. So we'll appreciate the call back. Never.
Okay, I can live with that. Who would I reach out to? They hung up. You know, things happen.
I appreciate the call back.
Never. Yeah, exactly. He's like, you're calling on a company phone. Well, how else would I call you? I wonder if it rolled over to his cell phone or
That's
something.
what I was thinking. Yeah. I don't know. That was weird.
What do you do?
Yeah.
You know, you just compartmentalize it and just leave it. You know what I mean? And don't take it personal.
Yeah.
I'm going to the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what we could have done differently there, but I really he was a feisty.
Well, you
little
call him
fella.
back and say, "Hey, can you give me someone besides Roman?" Maybe?
I know. Can you imagine?
You could have been his 20th call this morning.
That's a possibility.
9:30.
No, that's a possibility. It's 10:30 there.
10:30 there. Yeah.
All right, now we're calling Precast Company. There we go.
I love it.
What are we in? 33 minutes? All right.
East Texas Precast, how can I help you?
Hey, I was hoping I could talk to somebody in transportation or logistics.
All right, he is out for the day. I can pass you over to his voicemail.
Sure. What's his name?
I think it's going to be Oswaldo Duran.
Waldo. Okay. Hey, if you could patch me over, but what was your name?
Jasmine?
Jasmine, I hope you have a friggin' awesome day. That's all I got to say. But if you can, if you throw me over to his his voicemail, that'd be awesome.
Of course. Yes, sir. Thank you so
All
much. God bless you.
Hey, take care. Same to you.
You too. Thank you. The person you are trying to reach is not available right now. I'll record your message at the tone.
I love
when
that.
you are finished.
Great lady. You
hang up
know what I
or
mean?
stay on the
Sometimes you
line
just have to
for
act like
their
you give a
options.
shit.
Yeah.
I got his name, so I'm gonna call.
Did you press end instead of leave?
Yeah, I didn't. That didn't work the way I wanted it to.
Yeah,
but
Josh or whoever's going to call him could ask for.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was it?
Oswaldo.
Oswaldo.
I don't know how to spell that.
Anyone
have any idea how to spell Oswaldo?
Oswaldo. Anyways, yeah, Sean.
Oswaldo.
You know, you got to be tough, man. Like, yeah, you can't let it affect you. I talked with a couple people this week, and I can tell they're down in the dumps because of things like this, and it's easy to let things kind of eat you up. You know what I mean? So you definitely got to let it roll off the back.
Yeah, it's definitely not personal. You know what I mean? You just kind of have to face your fears and know that your future's through them.
Right.
And away you go.
Yeah.
All right, I got Oswaldo. We're gonna make one more call here.
Okay.
So hang tight with me.
Thanks for everyone's sticking around here on this nice Friday. If anyone's got any big plans this weekend, let me know what you got going on.
I'm with you. I'd like to know.
It's gonna be, I think, a big golf weekend. You know,
It's
maybe.
fair.
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm trying to find like a smaller company is what I'm really hoping for.
Okay.
More so just because I want for people to hear the conversation. You know what I mean?
I stopped leaving voicemails to prospects years ago. I found out leaving voicemails actually exhausting me mentally. Just keep dialing for dollars. Yeah, you know, I don't hate that at all. I don't hate that. Yeah.
It kind of depends on the person, you know, like whoever you're trying to reach out to. Honestly, I can't say, like, honestly, I would say, Sean, I'd be interested to know this too, because you've been dancing in the same fire that I have. I'm not shitting you. I've made thousands of cold calls, and I bet I've gotten 40 calls back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Somewhere in there.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's not like that. I'd be interested to know his like how Master Sunday.
Yeah, I hope so. But
Yeah.
I think you need some time.
But I would be curious, Sean, because he's been around for like 15 years. How many actual voicemails have you gotten back? Either way, something to throw in the notes there for us. Hang on one sec. Let me make one more call here, guys. I really want to find something that's smaller.
Sean, who are you going for the Masters, man? Got anyone that specific you want to win?
Okay. All right, last one.
All right, let's roll.
Last one. Here we go.
Thank you for calling Signature Systems. All calls may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. If you know your party's extension, please dial it now. For product sales, press 1. For accounting, press 2. For human resources, press 3. For all other calls, press 4. To reach an operator, press 0. For product tech support, press 1. For all freight-related calls, press 2. For marketing, press 3.
I can dig it.
Good morning, Jonathan speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, Jonathan, this is Jared over at Nebraska Transport. How are you this morning?
Good, and you?
I'm good. I'm enjoying my Friday. You know what I mean? It's that
I get that.
we're only 6 hours away, brother, and we'll both be sitting at the couch or in front of our grill drinking a Modelo. That's how I'm at.
Pretty much, yeah. We're almost done.
Exactly. Hey, man, I'll be brief, or I'll get to the point. Hey, we run some open decks kind of throughout the South, and I was just wanting to see who or how you guys handle your freights in the Southeast and kind of South Central, like Texas to Florida sort of thing.
So we use a TMS system that Myers provided for us since they bought us out at the beginning of last year. So they are the ones that actually have the final say who we get to use as a broker. But yeah, we basically use the TMS system, putting in the link, and then he'll send a massive email to all the different brokers to provide quotes, and then I'll select the best rate from there.
Okay. That's how do you like that process? Does it work fairly well? Do you get responses back quick?
For the most part, yeah. I'm still kind of using it because it kind of got implemented, let's say, late of last year. So I'm still trying to work through the kinks.
That's fair. I can live with that. So what if you don't mind, Jonathan, what kind of equipment are you moving, or like trailers and whatnot are you using?
We mainly ship flatbeds.
Do you? Okay, nice. So there's a little bit of a
flatbeds and dry vans. Oh yeah, majority of our products move through flatbeds, so we use a little bit of everything.
Okay. Well, so there's a little bit of a match with what we do versus what you guys do. I like that. How have you seen, even especially in the last like month or with the tariffs and stuff, have you seen any capacity or have you seen rates rise, or what's been the effect that you've seen in the last like 30, 60 days?
Honestly, the rates have changed so much because from what I've been used to what we're having now, there's so many different rates. I don't really have a set answer, but I would say that it's gone down significantly, a lot compared to what we were using before.
Okay. And are you just in the one location, or where are you controlling the freight, or is there multiple locations that you control freight for?
So I'm stationed out of Orlando, but I control freights for Flower Mound, Texas. We used to have other locations, but we don't have them anymore. So mainly it's just Flower Mound, Texas, and Orlando.
Okay.
I don't have to bring anything in, obviously, wherever they may be coming in from.
Nice. Okay. Any is there anything that you guys have specific to that TMS that is it hard to get set up? Is it something that you're looking for new vendors? Tell me kind of where your guys' position is.
So we don't make the final say of who we can bring in. We just get to use the system. Myers has their own set of process of how to bring people in. I don't have a lot of information on that because I'm not in the an executive position. So they're the ones that will control who gets to come in, and they negotiate and have all that conversations on their end.
Okay. But in some regards, you're still making some of the decisions on the rates, correct? When they come in, you're just saying, "Oh, this guy's the cheapest," or "This guy I can trust," or "This guy says he can do it in a quicker time frame."
For right now, yes. But once we have a lot of different data points, it's going to be whoever's the cheapest, they're going to get selected automatically, and I won't have a say in that.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you run any partials on flatbeds, or is it primarily full loads?
Mainly full loads.
Is it? Okay. I can live with that. Well, you know what I'd love to do is just share some information with you specifically. Maybe you could help me float up the tree to Meyer if that's something that you'd have some interest in.
Yeah, you can send some information over to me, and if I like it, I'll talk to my manager about it.
Okay. Yeah. I the one thing that's nice with us, we're very responsive. We can get you quotes back fairly quickly. I know it's through that TMS, but once we get an opportunity, we're very responsive. I think the other thing that's really unique about us is that we're just nights and weekends, and you get a single point of contact. So if you need something, you don't have to call through a friggin' operating system. It's just hey, what's Jared doing? Let me get a hold of him. You know what I mean? So that's probably the nice thing with us. The other side of it too is just the wild transparency when there's issues. I'm sure you deal with issues fairly often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
all the time.
yeah, I'm sure you do. Trucks don't show up. They're late. They break down. Whatever the excuse is that the broker gave you, but we're just going to be transparent and say, hey, here's where we're at, or here's what happened. We do so much utility work down in that south with the different utility companies that we kind of have to be at a higher level when it comes to service and timeliness. So when we do have someone on, it makes a difference.
No, I understand that.
So, well, hey, man, let me grab. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was going to say, I can give you my email because I actually have to run to a meeting right now.
Sure.
So I have to kind of get off the phone.
Sure. Go ahead.
My email is
Okay.
If you want to get easier, you just say Gilligan.
Okay. I love that, man. I love that. Well, hey, it was a pleasure to talk to you. I hope you have a friggin' awesome Friday. Thank you for your time, and we'll be in touch. I'll shoot you over just some info. Like I said, we're a small family-owned company, but we punch above our weight. So
Okay, I'll look into that.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Have a good one.
I'll see you, man. Interesting call.
Yeah, super nice guy. He gave you lots of information. That was actually the first. That was not the first shipper we've heard on a call like this to where they go through a TMS, or is that?
So I'm assuming that they got bought out because I was just whipping kind of calls.
Right.
I didn't really do a full on due diligence.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm assuming that they're larger than I was expecting.
Okay.
They got bought out. That company uses some kind of transportation management system that has carriers set up.
Okay.
However, if you think about it, like listen to what he said. He's like, well, I still send out these emails and choose carriers.
Right.
So it's not contract freight. It's all spot market. Right. Now, something that's interesting, anybody that has a friggin' location in Florida, if anyone's watching that's in Florida or dealt with Florida, you know, freights out of Florida are crazy.
Right.
You know, like $1.05, 90 cents a mile. It's nuts. Freights into Florida though are friggin' awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, but you tit for tat sort of thing. You get kind of what you get there. Out of Texas though, you know, I know for a fact these guys can be competitive.
Right.
They're incredible in that area.
Right.
They just have a nice way of building relationships with
Mm-hmm.
carriers that they've worked with for years.
Right. I really like the questions that you're adding. Now I can't remember each one specifically, but just questions to kind of really get a really good understanding of how their process is.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, thankfully he was willing to answer.
Yeah,
I know he had to go.
open. Yeah.
Seemed like a super nice guy. So Chris had a really good question. When you say we run some open decks, are you calling as a carrier or looking for a shipper? He's calling as a broker. So the way I see it is like you have like the brokerage he's calling for, they have relationships. So when they say we, it's all like their relationships, and that's kind of their niche as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have more to add to that.
Yeah, we run open decks. I just say open decks because that keeps it very wide open for the conversation of flatbeds, RGN, step decks. You know, if I said one thing, I didn't want to get trapped into another, so I try to keep it generalized to start until we get into it. And he mentioned they do flatbeds, they do vans. You know, I think you could probably be a generalist here and help them out.
Yeah, and I see your confusion because when you said we run open decks.
Yeah. I'm just talking like at NTC, like if I worked, you know, there, we run some open deck because that's primarily what they do. They're a brokerage that's focused on open deck freight.
Yeah. So calling as a broker, not a carrier.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
What? Just really quick, if you did call as a carrier, let's say you called for DIY, semis, you know, transportation,
which would be an honor.
How would that? How would you
I don't
start?
know if DIY still watching. It'd be an honor to make calls for him. You know, it's way different when you're calling for a carrier,
right?
And I love it too because you can kind of flex a little bit.
RJ, hey, it's available right now. Actually, when I hit end stream, it'll be available right away. So rewind if you want to check it out. We were actually talking about you.
Yeah, we were talking about you.
You're amazing. I love you.
I think it's interesting when you're calling for a carrier because you can really get into very, very minute, like the details, right? I think something that carriers kind of overthink though is that they don't think about a solution instead of living in the box that they do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? DIY doesn't necessarily want to go to California,
right?
You know, or he doesn't want to go to North Dakota, or he doesn't want to go down to Florida, right? So he's going to tell you, here's the lanes that I run. You know, if you can give me 24 to 48 hours, if we can get a agreed upon rate, you know, I can be there. You know, things like that. So there's a little bit different of a call for carriers. We should do a carrier call.
Yeah, if we could find it. You know, the hardest thing with the carrier, let's have Jeff. Because flats are your niche. You want to emphasize that during your conversation.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff
friggin' Dickinson.
Jeff,
dude, this guy
Jeff,
is like he's the godfather, I swear to God.
Yeah.
This guy's probably forgotten more about transportation than I'll ever know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
But yeah, no, 100%, Jeff. I agree. Sorry, I missed the beginning. Oh, you're fine. Just rewind it.
Just rewind it. Watch
you're
it.
Good,
give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, I think we'll end it there today. I really, you know, this is one of our longer shows.
This is a longer show.
I mean, that's good. You know, we got some good talks on the phone, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, we did have some good conversations, and honestly, you know, Jeff is a part of the Broker Carrier Summit.
Yep.
You know, just a huge brokerage that's coming in, or not a brokerage, but a huge conference that's coming up. And honestly, what are the dates? Do we have
April 28th to May 2nd? If you go to the link down below, just copy and paste that if you can.
Yeah,
brokercarriersummit.com. Go check it out. The dates are right there when you hop in, and use hot loads to get a little bit of a discount too.
Yeah.
So shout out to Shimmy for sharing that.
Absolutely.
You guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll keep you posted for next week. Like I said, we're in transition to moving into a new studio. So if depending on how fast we get that set up, we'll be live next week. But
Yeah.
just make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell on our YouTube channel. That way you get notified. So we may end up making some cold calls on truck stuff. I don't know. We'll see. So you guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk next week or the week after. Talk to you later.